We're attempting to camp overnight on Snake Island. Tried to come prepared with everything I'm gonna need, but I did not bring any anti-venom, so let's hope we don't run into any snakes. We are heading out for another island adventure. My name's Wes. Along with me today is Leo, my Shiba Inu puppy. Also got Preston. He's my mom's Australian Terrier. She's out of state right now, so I'm watching him for her. We are on the Colorado River in the heart of Texas. We're out here in Austin, which is actually the state capital. We are paddling out to Snake Island, also known as Hobo Island, trying to stay overnight over there. And I gotta say, I hope we don't run into any snakes or hobos. I've heard a lot of wild stories about this island. We'll get into some of those later. For now, let's enjoy the paddle and let's get to our island. It's late afternoon right now, feeling great out here. It was a warm day today though. Got up to 85, which is really unusual for mid-November here. We are having another heat wave. And let's see what kind of neighbors we got tonight. Looks like an egret or a heron. And an osprey. That is so cool. Where are we? We made it. First thing I'm noticing is that it's pretty flat. And look how cleared off it is. This is a lot more developed looking than I thought it would be. And it looks like the dogs are really enjoying it too. They're looking a little bit more colorful than usual. Even got a nice picnic table. Very fitting, you have different snakes for Snake Island. We're almost getting to the other end of the island already. Not very big, but not as tiny as some of the islands I'm used to camping on. Interesting to think you got hundreds or thousands of tech employees working over there. And over here, we've got our own peaceful island. I'm trying to find a spot to camp. Really could set up almost anywhere here. It's just so flat and clear. Got the picnic table right here. Then right over this way, this is looking like a nice clearing. Brought the two-person tent this time since we have one person and two dogs. I think it's getting time to have some lights on. I don't know if you can hear, there's a rowing team out there. They're like, stay on this side of the island.
Okay, now as your shift down to that 20 for the last couple minutes.
All right, well that is looking good. We'll get our camp blanket laid out. Can hang out on there. Somehow we got roaches all the way out here on this island. Gonna have to be really careful I don't take any of them back home as hitchhikers. Would not be fun to have those in the van. It is already feeling very cozy out here. We've been here about an hour already. Forgot to hydrate. Got some Texas spring water. Picked this up at HEB. Much better. I'm gonna get the sleep system set up early, that way if the dogs want to lay down, they can. Wow, I almost forgot how roomy a two-person tent is. I'm just so used to my one-person tent, this feels luxurious. Got my 50-degree sleeping bag. Only getting down to like 65. And for the dogs, brought their favorite blanket. And it's looking nice and cozy. Oh, Leo's got the zoomies. All right, camp is set up. Went ahead and got everything prepped for our dinner. We're gonna be having some chicken enchiladas on a skillet. Very easy to make. Got a lot of ingredients going on here, so let me break it down for you. For our enchiladas, we're gonna be using some white corn tortillas. And going inside, we got some pre-cooked chicken, got some shredded Mexican cheese, a little bit of rotel, which is some diced tomatoes with green chilies, really popular here in Texas. Also gonna add in some refried beans with jalapenos, throw in some hatch chilies, got some sour cream to have with that, top it off with some enchilada sauce, some green onions, avocado, and squeeze a little bit of lime on there. And on the side, we're gonna have some tortilla chips from El Patio. It's a local Austin restaurant with some salsa verde. And first, I'm gonna give the dogs their dinner. Somehow I only brought one bowl, so Leo's gonna have his on a plate because he eats more than Preston. They're gonna be having some of their kibbles, some fresh pet, also some of that pre-cooked chicken because it's very lightly seasoned, so it's safe for dogs. And Preston's snoozing in the tent right now, so let me go get him. Time for dinner, Preston. You go, Leo. And for Preston. And I'm gonna start out with some prickly pear cactus fruit. Now I've had prickly pear juice, I've had prickly pear candy, but never just had it straight. Really excited to try it. Like almost any grocery store around here carries it. Really popular. So being from a grocery store, they've already removed the spines, so we're just gonna cut the ends off. Wow, that looks like a purple yam inside. It's kind of neat. Oh, it smells great too. And gotta get the skin off. Even though the spines have been removed, you still do not want to eat the skin. There we go. And we just slice it up. Oh, that looks interesting. Let's give it a try. Cheers. Wow. A little bit lighter in flavor than I thought, but very refreshing. Almost like a light apple flavor, kind of watery in a good way. Like I can imagine myself being out in a hot desert and stumbling upon some of these and it being just so refreshing and so good. And I've heard that adding tahini and a little bit of lime really does a lot for these. Mm-hmm. Even they look interested. What a good way to start off dinner. Let's get these enchiladas started. I love enchiladas, but I've never made them myself, so this should be fun. Let me get this enchilada sauce heated up first. Should help the cooking process go a little bit quicker if we do this. And that's nice and hot. Get our skillet heated up. And throw a little bit of butter in there. Get it nice and greased up. And we get our first one packed here. I need a plate to work on. Get these refried beans in here. Chicken. Some hatch green chilies. And some rotel. And that's how the first one's looking. Let's get it rolled up. All right, and it's starting to come together. We'll get a few more of these made up. All right, and last one in the pan. Add our sauce. Cheese on there. Really should have brought more cheese actually. I actually do have some grated cotija cheese that I was going to use for tomorrow's breakfast, but we can spare a little bit. And while we wait, get to start with our chips and salsa. These are some really good chips, man. Really cool how Snake Island or Hobo Island has been so chill so far. From what I've heard, people have been coming here for decades, having parties, doing bonfires. Reading some stories about how back in the 90s they used to come here, have these huge parties. The police wanted to shut it down, but they just couldn't get out here to stop it. Read some people saying it's full of snakes, poison ivy. There's a hobo that lives here. I don't know, I feel like it's all just a ruse to get people to not come to this chill spot. Kind of like Greenland and Iceland, how Greenland's actually really icy and cold, and Iceland is more the place to be. Apparently people like to leave hidden treasures around here, Easter eggs, just fun things for people to find. Haven't seen any of those yet, but there is a lot of cool artwork around here. Definitely going to be looking around for some treasure when I wake up in the morning. I think the dogs might have seen something or heard something. I don't know, I'm not seeing anything. Anyways, I think our enchiladas are about ready. Start adding some of our toppings. First we got some sour cream and avocado, green onion, and finish it with some lime. And there they are. And a nice thing about these skillet enchiladas is no plate required. Just eat right from the skillet. And another great thing about this recipe is that you can do it over a campfire. But unfortunately there is a drought in Texas, so there's a burn ban in effect, so we couldn't have a fire tonight, but definitely doable. All right, give this a try. Oh, that is good. Oh, something about having the chicken in that corn tortilla, and then you got the rotel, the refried beans, hashed chilies, just a lot going on, but definitely a symphony of flavors. Really easy to add whatever toppings you want to this, and I really like the ones I've picked. Oh, and the tortillas even got a little crispy on the edge, which is so nice. Well, I've really been loving it in Texas so far. Last video we were out in the Rio Grande camping on the US-Mexico border. From there we traveled over 4 hours to get to San Antonio. Really neat to see the land transition from desert to scrubland to forest. We're passing through a lot of ranches, different farms, really some beautiful country. It's been a few days in San Antonio. What was really different about that place is that I think it's like the 8th largest city in the country, but it has like a small town feel to it. Of course we had to go see the Alamo, and what a special place that was to visit. Been really neat to learn about the history of Texas, like how it used to be its own country before it joined the United States. And something that has really impressed me is the Texas pride people have. Like being out here in Texas, it is impossible to forget where you're at. Like you'll see a Texas edition pickup truck, they got Texas plates, they got a sticker of Texas, they got the Lone Star. And you see Texas barbecue everywhere. We got to try some of that and it was so good to have it legit in the state. And everyone I've met out here has been really friendly. Like coming from out of state, it's a little bit intimidating. You know, Texas is such a big state. People have so much pride. When I travel, I try to be really respectful of where I'm at. You know, I'm going someplace to learn something new. I'm trying to experience the culture. But yeah, I've been thoroughly impressed with Texas so far. Also just coming here to Austin. So many rivers, parks, outdoor activities, also a huge music and art scene. Also got to go up to Georgetown to visit some family friends. Shout out Clyde and Cindy. Clyde was there with me for my first few camping trips that I ever got to go on as a little kid. He took me fishing, camping, mountain biking, always knew how to identify different plants and animals. Needless to say, he really helped me fall in love with the outdoors, and I would not be here doing this today without him. So thank you so much, Clyde. What a meal. That was really good. Probably got to give this a solid 8 out of 10. It's going to be a fun meal to play around with and, you know, tweak the recipe too. Taking the boys out on one last walk before bed. That's a big hole. Leo got a stick. Wow, that's a big guy. Feels so good to be lying down in bed all cozy for the night. And it's still so warm I'm not even in the sleeping bag. Well, I will see y'all in the morning. Good night. Good morning. Feeling so good to wake up all refreshed here on Snake Island. We're all just in here chilling. Very uneventful night last night. The only things I was hearing were some bats chirping and ducks quacking. Nothing to report home about. Just had a really chill night. Even got to sleep in. It's like 9 o'clock now. And for that sleep rating, gotta give it a 9 out of 10. Only thing that could have been better was having a little bit of white noise, but not gonna complain. All right, let's go out, you guys. Nice and cool, partly cloudy day this morning. Check it out. Got everything prepped for our breakfast. A lot fewer ingredients going on than last night, but I think it'll still be just as good. We're gonna be having some chorizo breakfast tacos. Gonna be having these on some flour tortillas. Got some pork chorizo de San Manuel. Heard some really good things about this chorizo, so I'm excited to try it. And of course, a couple eggs. Also got some grated cotija cheese. Top that off with some avocado. We got some more rotel, cilantro, and of course a little bit of lime. And for our hot sauce, we are using some Valentina. But first I'm going to start off with the pear. This is a Concord pear. If I've ever had one of these, it was when I was little, so I don't really remember. Well, that sliced up so easily. I think it's going to be perfectly ripe. Cheers. That has some really good flavor. I'm used to Bartlett pears, but this is different. Almost like you get a little bit of a floral note to it, and it's very unique. And of course, I want to see how it tastes with a little bit of tahini. Oh, that goes well in there too. If you're a big tahini enjoyer, I'd love to know if there's a fruit that it doesn't go well on, because it seems to be good on everything so far. Let's get our breakfast tacos going. I actually brought 4 eggs. Gonna have 2 in the tacos and 2 for the dogs. And we'll get these scrambled. Excellent. We got their meals together. They're having some more of their kibble and fresh pet along with the eggs. Sit pretty! Yeah. And Preston's really been enjoying hanging out in the tent, so I'm gonna let him eat in there. And now we'll get our chorizo cooked. Gotta get this out of the casing first. There we go. Oh man, that is smelling so good cooking. Oh, that's looking done. Let's start getting them together. I almost forgot I want to add a little bit of salt and pepper to the eggs. Sprinkle some of this grated cotija. Rotel. We'll get some of this Valentina sauce on there. I used to know someone from Texas who loved this stuff. He would put it on everything. And avocado. And lime. Now I'm getting hungry just looking at that. I'll quickly make the other 3. And just like that, we have 4 breakfast tacos. These are looking so delicious. All right, let's see how these turned out. That is some really good chorizo. Probably the best I've ever had. And you got the eggs, that cotija cheese, all those good toppings. And these are so good, but I can imagine them from a legit restaurant, like a place that's been doing them for decades. Breakfast tacos are a big deal in Texas, specifically San Antonio and Austin. Like so many people debate what the best breakfast taco spots are. Got a lot of different recipes to pick from. I definitely recommend giving these a try. I'm really gonna miss Texas. Was thinking I was gonna do one more adventure out here, but gotta remind y'all of the itinerary. Since it's mid-November and I have jury duty coming up Thanksgiving week, probably not going to be back until December. So we're a little bit behind schedule, and that was due to the heat here in Texas. We just couldn't come through the state until it cooled off a little bit. So I'm really hoping the traveling and all the adventures go smoothly, because we got to get back on schedule. Like doing a cross-country road trip like this, you got to travel with the seasons, and if things get pushed back, you can be in the wrong place at the wrong time. So I already got something really fun in mind for Louisiana. You'll just have to wait and see. It's going to be out on the Gulf, so we're going to be getting back onto some salt water. Really excited for that. Mississippi and Alabama, really don't know yet, but would love to hear y'all's suggestions. I'm disappointed I'm on my last bite here. This was so good. Thought it would be fun to come over here and make use of the picnic table. I'm going to be making some pour-over coffee with my Chemex flask. Picked this up from a local roaster here in Austin, Texas Coffee Traders. Really nice little shop. They have a lot of unique coffee beans there. And we were having some of their Gatlin blend, like the Gatlin Brothers, a country music group. Notes of Guinness, fig, dark cherry, baker's chocolate, and heavy bodied. Oh, it smells delicious. I'm really getting the notes of Guinness. That is really unique. Definitely the chocolate too. And we got some company out there. I gotta say again, like, what a nice time out on this island. Like, I feel so recharged and just at peace out here. And to think, some people were saying, oh, there's nothing to see there, it's just a bunch of poison ivy and trash. This is really a slice of heaven, if you ask me. And to be right in the middle of such a big city like Austin, and you just have this peaceful little island, like, that is always something that really impresses me, when you can find a tranquil little area in the middle of a big city and just find a little bit of peace. Just look how beautiful it is with the light filtering in through the trees. And another story about this island I forgot to mention, there actually used to be a live DJ that would come out here and throw parties. Everyone would show up on their boats, just come hang out on the island, catch some live music. That must have been a fun time. Also heard about people high wiring between trees on the island too. That's pretty fun. What a good start to the day. I'm gonna take a little bit and pick up any trash I can find here on the island, because I have been seeing some. And who knows, maybe we'll find some treasure in the process. Well, I found a good amount. Feels good to make a difference. Well, I got everything all loaded up into the boat. Here's all my trash, and here's the trash I was able to collect from the island. And with that, we are good to go. Well, that was a ton of fun. Also really chill and relaxing. Thanks so much for coming along, and y'all come back now, you hear?